Ricochet's agent reportedly was backstage at this week's AEW television tapings amid rumours that there is an expectation that he is set to join AEW after his WWE contract has expired. Mercedes Monae confirms that she met with Shane McMahon in a New York City airport recently. More details on what they could have possibly discussed. Britt Baker revealed last night that she suffered a mini stroke leading to her hiatus from All Elite Wrestling. Details on her backstage promo. Angel Gaza confirms he has signed a brand new 3-year contract extension with WWE. Finally, we know the reason and story behind the infamous Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon lockbox storyline from Shane McMahon's return to WWE back in 2016. Chad Gable explains his reasons for re-signing with WWE, and WWE files to trademark more WCW pay-per-view names. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off with the latest details and news surrounding Ricochet after his WWE departure and the expected jump to becoming All Elite. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, Ricochet is likely headed to AEW and all signs point to talks being well underway. In June, Fightful Select reported that Ricochet was finishing up with WWE and expected to join All Elite Wrestling. His contract was up at midnight on July 1st, and he was contractually unable to appear on the AEW New Japan Forbidden Door crossover pay-per-view as a result. On the Fightful Select Discord on Wednesday night, Sean Ross Sapp posted that Ricochet was not set for this week's edition of Dynamite, of course the Beach Break special on TBS. However, Ricochet reportedly is expected in the company soon, and there was some interesting movement on that. Ricochet's agent was backstage at AEW this week, according to Sapp, and Fightful Select are reporting they have been told that he has been leading the subsequent talks between the two sides. Ricochet's agent also represents a number of talent across WWE and AEW, but certainly appears that talks are underway between the former United States champion and Tony Khan's promotion. What are your thoughts on this? When do you think Ricochet could make his AEW debut? And what do you think he could add to the company? Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section below. Now, Mercedes Monae and Shane McMahon. This was an interesting story recently. AEW TBS and New Japan Strong Women's Champion Mercedes Monae has been enjoying life as a double champion following her big victory at Forbidden Door on June 30. And she even got to catch up with an old friend as she reportedly bumped into Shane McMahon at a New York City airport. While the topics of conversation that Monae and McMahon engaged in have been mere rumours at the time of recording, Monae herself opened up on her interaction with McMahon in her newsletter. She said, quote, "After it all, by only the fates aligned, I walked into the airport, was in line by the bagel shop, and I suddenly looked up, and there he was, just as surprised as I was. My first day being a double title holder, and the first wrestler and former WWE superstar I see is Shane McMahon. Come on, if that isn't the universe working in divine timing, I don't know what else it could be. I've always loved Shane. When we locked eyes, we both kind of looked at each other like, is that you? Our faces lit up as we got talking a bit, and before he boarded his flight, he gave me his number. The rest, as they say, is history or maybe a mystery." Now, rumours of McMahon and AEW potentially being linked have grown in recent weeks, following an episode of Jim Ross's Grilling JR podcast where Ross believed that McMahon would not only be a good fit for the company, but Ross's co-host Conrad Thompson noted that McMahon had actually reached out to some AEW talents, hypothetically discussing appearing in the company, or at least trying to get a little bit more information about the promotion. Now, AEW President and CEO Tony Khan admitted that he's never met or spoken to Shane McMahon, but did say he's always welcome in AEW. Now, speaking of Mercedes Monae, last night she was called out by Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, in her return promo on Dynamite Beach Break. Now, on Dynamite Beach Break, Britt Baker revealed where she had been during her absence with a heartbreaking revelation. With Baker's last match taking place in September of 2023, she made her return at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view on June 30 during Mercedes Monae's celebration after the winner-takes-all match in which the CEO retained the TBS Championship and won the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. During the show, Baker came down to the ring to address the AEW Dynamite audience, as can be seen during the broadcast. She said, quote, "For the last 10 months, I'm sure a lot of you have been wondering, where's Britt? And any time that question was asked, the answer was given, she's injured. Yeah, but I think you guys know me by now. It would take more than a couple of herniated discs and a torn hip labrum to keep me away from this place. Back in November, physically, yeah, I was banged up, and mentally, I was probably running on empty, but every time I looked myself in the mirror, I said, I'm good. Until one day, I wasn't. Because one day, I started feeling really sick, and the room was spinning. My vision was blurry, and my right arm was tingling and numb. Something didn't feel right, but I looked myself in the mirror and said, I'm good. I tried to open a bottle of water, and I couldn't. My entire right side stopped working. To sum this story up, I spent a week in the hospital with a diagnosis of a TIA, which is a transient ischemic attack. The doctors explained to me is as an instance when your brain isn't getting enough blood to the moment that it is a major warning for a stroke, so much that they call it a mini stroke. At that moment, I looked myself in the mirror and said, Britt, you are not good. Now, she would go on to say that she told AEW President and CEO Tony Khan that she had to stay at home, with the AEW CEO giving her the time away until she was healthy to return. Now, in an update, PW Insider has confirmed that the mini-stroke story in Baker's return promo was based on 100% truth. According to their sources, Baker suffered a mini-stroke in addition to the other issues that have kept her away. Now, obviously, during the promo last night, Baker teased a match in All In at London's Wembley Stadium with Mercedes Monae. It's not been confirmed as of right now, but of course, if we get any more details on that in the future, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. Now, Angel Gaza, he's set to stick around in WWE, according to Gaza himself. If there's one area of wrestling news that's been dominating the headlines over the past few months, it's contract news. In WWE, deals are expiring, deals are being negotiated, and deals have even ended as stars like Becky Lynch, Dijak, and Ricochet are all now free agents. However, one WWE superstar has put all the rumors of them leaving to bed. During a recent Facebook stream, Angel Gaza was asked about the possibility of him joining his former colleagues in free agency. He said, quote, "No, I have not left. In fact, I just re-signed for another 3 years," Gaza said. "It was an offer I straight up could not reject, so there is that." Now, news of Gaza's contract coming up broke at the beginning of June, as it was originally reported that his deal was set to expire on August 1st, but now that he is staying with the company, Legado del Fantasma will continue to press forward on SmackDown and on NXT, which is where they were last seen competing in the Tag Team Turmoil match on the June 25th edition of the show. While Gaza joined the likes of Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and Chad Gable as high-profile names who have decided to stick with WWE, there is yet to be any news on Gaza's cousin, Berto, better known as Humberto Carrillo. Berto's contract is also set to expire on August 1st, and WWE has already made it known that they are interested in keeping him, as negotiations have reportedly already started. Now that his cousin has re-signed, there is every chance that Berto will also choose to stick with WWE, but in the wrestling business, anything can and will happen. Now, this is an interesting story for your 4th of July holiday weekend, and obviously everyone that celebrates, I hope you're having a fantastic day on your 4th of July week, and a happy holiday weekend, of course. Go back to 2016, the Lockbox storyline with Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon. One of WWE's most asked about loose ends has an even more disappointing answer. Cast your minds back. In 2016, Shane McMahon made his return to WWE after several years away from the company. When Shane was set for a WrestleMania match against The Undertaker, a stipulation was added. In addition to being a Hell in a Cell match, if Shane won, he would get control of Monday Night Raw. If Shane lost, Vince McMahon would get the contents to a lockbox Shane had possession of, which presumably held Vince McMahon's dark secrets. Fightful say they recently asked their audience about unfinished stories that they wanted the answers to, with this being among the most requested. Unfortunately, the answer is exemplary as to the Vince McMahon era of creatively bankrupt booking. Fightful selector Sean Ross Sapp reached out to several members of the creative team from that time. Each one that Fightful heard back from claimed there was never a lockbox item determined, and that it was actually never something that was intended to be a line in the promo to begin with. It was something that Vince McMahon added at the last minute. The answer, like many things in the last number of years of Vince McMahon's creative booking in WWE when he had control, is that there was no rhyme, nor reason, or plan, and it wasn't going to go anywhere. Now, Chad Gable, speaking of contracts previously, he is sticking around in WWE, and things may not be going well for Chad Gable on the screen, but he's found himself in a great position in his career off of it. Recently, Chad Gable has found himself the victim of an attack by the Wyatt Six on a recent episode of Raw, and being targeted by the group once again on a recent episode. But before the Wyatt Six attack, Gable had issues with his leadership of Alpha Academy, with the members leaving him. Gable, though, as I mentioned, is in a much better position behind the scenes, having recently signed a new contract with WWE. Speaking on Cheap Heat with Peter Rosenberg, Gable addressed the timing of the new deal, saying, quote, "The timing is unbelievable. I've reflected on it so much. These are the kinds of things that when they happen like this, they make you question, like, there's something to this. Someone was looking out for me, or fate, or something, because the stars just aligned. It was just too perfect." Now, as for the reasons for signing a new WWE contract, Gable would go on to reveal, quote, "This is where I want to be. I'm like a loyal guy, right? So, I start somewhere, I want to finish there. If I start something, anything, I want to finish it. I'm just so happy and fortunate that the idea of finishing it now looks different than it would have a few years ago, which would have been like fulfilling my contract, would have been finishing it because I wasn't really doing anything. Now, finishing it means accomplishing things, winning championships, and leaving a real legacy." Now, part of that legacy could see the Olympic athlete bring his knowledge to a leadership role, with Gable hoping to be a guiding light for newer WWE talent. Now, during the Cheap Heat interview, Gable also revealed that his plans, had he not re-signed with WWE, would have seen him return to education. Gable signed with WWE in 2013 and went on to re-sign with the company in 2019 before re-signing once again this year. And finally, there's been a bit of a strange trend with WWE recently when it comes to their trademark filings of old WCW pay-per-views. WWE has filed more trademarks related to old WCW pay-per-view names with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Now, as was previously covered in a past video, WWE filed an application to trademark the term Super Brawl. Now, WWE has now filed 2 more trademark applications, with the company filing to trademark the terms New Blood Rising and The Match Beyond. Now, while there has been some speculation that WWE will be bringing these shows back, it's also possible that WWE could just be filing these trademarks for archival purposes. However, with the description stating ongoing, it is currently unclear how WWE plans to use these trademarks moving forward. Of course, in recent years, WWE has repurposed several WCW properties for the NXT brand, with a developmental show reviving the likes of Halloween Havoc and the Great American Bash for annual specials, so this could be something for NXT in the future. But there you go, guys, it's the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button, be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.